And the big talking point from the ongoing session in the parliament, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first test of unity for Team India. It's all-out fight in Rajya Sabha after the centre tabled the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill seeking to bolster the centre's hold on the capital's administration. The bill will replace an existing ordinance that overrides 11th May Supreme Court order giving the Delhi government control over most of the services. It is anticipated that the bill will be approved as the majority is in favour of the N.D.A. The opposition has the support of 103 MPs, approximately 103, while the N.D.A. has the backing of 123 MPs in the upper house of the parliament.
दिल्ली बिल का सार है सर इसमें। सर हम न्याय की गुहार लगाने आपके सामने आए हैं, अपने हक मांगने आए हैं, अपने हक से ज्यादा मांगने नहीं आए। सर मैं अपने वक्तव्य को 3 भाग में बांटता हूं। पहला कि ये बिल कैसे एक राजनीतिक धोखा है, पॉलिटिकल फ्रॉड है। दूसरा ये कैसे एक संवैधानिक पाप है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल सिन है। और तीसरा कि ये एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लॉgjam यानी कि प्रशासनिक गतिरोध दिल्ली में कैसे पैदा कर देता है।
अगर ये बिल राज्यसभा में पास हो जाता है और देश का कानून बन जाता है तो ये हमारे देश के संविधान की, हमारे देश के संघीय ढांचे की, हमारे देश के लोकतंत्र की जो इज्जत है उस पर तमाचा है ये बिल। क्योंकि आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी ये दिखा देगी कि ना वो लोकतंत्र का सम्मान करती है, ना वो संघीय ढांचे का सम्मान करती है, ना वो देश के संविधान का सम्मान करती है, क्योंकि वो एक चुनी हुई सरकार की ताकत छीनने की कोशिश कर रही है।
As I rise to oppose this retrogressive bill, I ask why no government since 1992, when Delhi's special constitutional status was created, be it a BJP government or a Congress government, be it any other color of the political spectrum, not one of them has tried to overrule 2 constitution bench judgments. This government and this bill has done it all. Something not done earlier. It is the fitrat of this control freak sarkar, whose vendetta, whose visiting card appears to be vendetta, whose identity badge is of a graceless and fuming electoral loser.
Well, the opposition says that the bill is nothing but a constitutional fraud, and that's one voice that has been coming in from the opposition chamber since the beginning of the introduction of this particular ordinance. But the BJP has hit back saying that the Delhi government wants a super state, not just a state.
राज्य सभा में भी नंबर है हमारे पास। जो नंबर की कमी थी वो तो आप खुद ही देख रहे हो। बीजू जनता दल और जगन मोहन जी की पार्टी और भी कई पार्टियां, तो मुझे तो लगता है आज कई लोग जो लोकसभा में समर्थन किए थे ना, वो भी कहीं वॉकआउट करके न चले जाएं, क्योंकि कोई भी यूनियन टेरिटरी विद असेंबली के नियम को जानता है। और ऐसे में अगर कोई मुख्यमंत्री कहे कि मैं चुना हुआ हूं तो मुझे भ्रष्टाचार करने का अधिकार है, जो जांच करेगा हम उसको सजा देंगे अधिकारी को, तो ये कोई भी पार्टी समर्थन नहीं करेगी। अगर किया तो ये देश उसको जवाब देगा।
देखिए, आज हमारा बिल जो है राज्यसभा में पास होगा, अच्छी बहुमत से पास होगा, और आज ही इनका गठबंधन भी टूट जाएगा, क्योंकि अरविंद केजरीवाल ने एक अपना मकसद के लिए गठबंधन किया है और दिल्ली में वो चाहते हैं कि कांग्रेस के समर्थन से वो चुनाव लड़कर उनको लगता है कि लोकसभा की सीटें जीत जाएंगे। ये उनकी गलतफहमी है। और मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि दिल्ली में आज जो मुख्यमंत्री के पास में पावर्स हैं, आज से पहले शीला दीक्षित जी रही और अपना मदन लाल खुराना जी रहे, साहिब सिंह वर्मा जी रहे, हमारी भी सरकार रही, कांग्रेस की भी रही, तो हमेशा से पावर उनकी सेम ही रही है। तो किसी भी मुख्यमंत्री के पास में ट्रांसफ़र पोस्टिंग का IAS ऑफिसर का अधिकार नहीं था, क्योंकि दिल्ली एक अपना राज्य नहीं है, दिल्ली केंद्र शासित प्रदेश है, यूनियन टेरिटरी है।
The Aadmi party has also launched a scathing attack on the BJD and the YSRCP for favouring the N.D.A. Remember, they did support the bill in Lok Sabha as well. It's warned that what the BJP is trying to do in Delhi will soon be replicated in other states.
मैं आज अपने साथी जो आंध्र प्रदेश और उड़ीसा की सरकार चलाते हैं उन्हें कहना चाहूंगा, आपकी जरूर कुछ मजबूरियां रही होंगी जिसके चलते आपने ये फैसला लिया इस सरकार के इस बिल का समर्थन करने में। कुछ तो मजबूरियां रही होंगी, यूं ही कोई बेवफा नहीं होता। लेकिन मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं कि आग जब लगेगी तो बहुत दूर तक जाएगी। जब आपके घर में आग लगेगी, आम आदमी पार्टी आपके साथ खड़ी होगी, मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं।
So that's a word of caution that came in from Raghav Chadha. Let's quickly open this up. We have Bansuri Swaraj, Secretary, Delhi BJP, along with the Huda Zariwala, political analyst, joining us on the broadcast. Ms. Zariwala, first up, let's just begin with basics. How confident are you that things are going to turn in the favor of the Aam Aadmi Party and the collective India bloc? Because so far the number doesn't seem to be in favor of them.
Well, good afternoon. I would like to state that Aam Aadmi Party definitely will have the numbers as far as this bill is concerned, because let us not forget that this bill, like time and again stated, is an entire political fraud. It is indeed committing a constitutional sin. This will lead to a political logjam entirely. I mean, this is a democracy that we're talking about, which is a three-chain command. I mean, the civil servants get the command from the ministers, which are chosen by the people of Delhi, or be it be any other state for that matter. These ministers, they get the command from the legislators. The legislators again get the command from the electorate by passing the legislation, which means that a democratic setup is, is in practice by this three-chain command. But now, with the passing of this bill, a civil servant, let's assume a bureaucratic entity, will have the right to not enforce or, not follow an order or, a rule passed by the legislation.
But that's exactly what was raised, Ms. Huda Zariwala, by the Home Minister very recently. In Lok Sabha, he said this is only being contested or opposed by the Aam Aadmi Party because they want to hide behind corruption. They don't want the Vigilance Department to conduct an inquiry against Operation Sheesh Mahal, quote unquote.
I mean, the Constitution prescribes checks and balances. I mean, by passing the legislature, this would tantamount to defeating the very purpose of a setup which keeps the checks and balances of an elected government in check. Now, we are talking about a setup wherein the LG will have the unprecedented power to absolutely pass a law or, any sort of, a law that would be not kind of representing the people's point of perspective through the ministerial board, through the legislation. So we are not talking about just Aam Aadmi Party in power in Delhi as of now. We are talking about a generic setup which is going to be in place if such a system continues, because the Janata of Delhi, the 2 crore plus Janata of Delhi, has clearly chosen Aam Aadmi Party not once, not twice, but
so you're reiterating what has been said by Mr. Kejriwal, that this particular bill is going to rubbish Delhi's mandate, which has been won by the Aam Aadmi Party twice already, and it's a fraud perpetrated on the people. Ms. Bansuri, do you want to quickly comment on that?
I think this is absolutely false. In fact, this bill is being brought in only to protect the people of Delhi. See, they keep on using this political hyperbole of calling it a political fraud or a constitutional sin. Let's look at the fact. First, let's look at the legal provisions. It is the Constitution itself that provides for it. Delhi has always had a special status. In fact, this entire aspect, in 1992, the Article 239AA was brought. And 239AA is in Part 8 of the Constitution, which means, and Part 8 deals with the union territories. Please note that Part 6 deals with states. It's Part 8 that deals with union territories. And this particular article itself provides that Parliament will have supremacy and will have the aspect of making any law when it comes to Delhi in terms of any issue which is stated either in the state list or in the concurrent list. Now, that is the position. Now, why is this particular ordinance, why it was brought and why was this bill brought? Because the Kejriwal Sarkar has committed not one but actually 11 scams, whether it is the liquor scam or it is the Sheesh Mahal. There are 11 scams. On the intervening night of 15th
Nothing has been proven as yet.
They barge in, they illegally... There is an FIR, ma'am. There is still an FIR. The fact is that the Special Secretary Vigilance was unceremoniously, with unprecedented promptness, removed by Saurabh Bharadwaj, who is a minister of your government.
And Ms. Zariwala, that's been cited by the Home Minister on the floor of the House.
Of course, his office was broken into.
And besides, to add to what Ms. Bansuri is saying, the opposition has been time and again terming it illegal and unconstitutional, but the Home Minister is saying, what about the Supreme Court judgment? The order does recognize the Constitution, the granting special status to NCTD, and has entrenched in Delhi a representative form of government. But Ms. Huda Zariwala, it also says in the same breath that the legislative and executive powers of NCTD shall be subject to the legislative and executive power expressly conferred upon by the Union, by the Constitution. So that's what's been cited by Home Minister yet again, saying we're not doing anything that goes against the law. Ladies, I want you to quickly hold on, because we're learning of some news coming in from Rajya Sabha. I believe Mr. Chidambaram is speaking live, so let's quickly cut across.
We are not getting into the constitutionality. I'm saying, irrespective of the constitutionality, which clause has any...
You went on a tangent, physically and thoughtfully. Therefore, the honourable member had an occasion to be on his feet. I would urge you to confine to that.
Very well, this is my view.
It is expected of you, sir.
No, I have great respect for their view. All I'm saying is, I didn't find them point out the merit in the clause of the bill irrespective of the Constitution. So we have a bill today which the government thinks is a model for Delhi. They had invented a model for Jammu and Kashmir, and that is in court today. Please remember, we always talk about breakdown of the Constitution of India, breakdown of constitutional governance. Article 355, 356 speaks about breakdown of the constitutional machinery. What are we doing today? We are breaking the constitutional machinery by passing this bill. By passing this bill, we are breaking the constitutional machinery as envisaged. We broke it on 5th of August 2019 in Kashmir, divided a state into 2 union territories, and sending a chill in the spines of every state that any state can be broken into union territories. What are we doing today? We are breaking the constitutional machinery. Sir,
Honourable member,
let me end by saying, while I endorse whatever my good friend Dr. Singhvi said about the constitutionality, and there is another forum in which we argue, please remember, you have no constitutional authority to pass this bill, be that as it may. You have not even a moral authority to pass this bill. Yes. The treasury benches, when did they last win an election in Delhi? 15 years, Mrs. Sheila Dikshit was chief minister. I think there were 2 or 3 lieutenant governors.
Please,
1 minute.
conclude.
2 or 3 lieutenant governors, and I was home minister for a while. Never once did the present arrangement come in the way of Mrs. Sheila Dikshit functioning as perhaps one of the best chief ministers of this country. Just one minute. I asked you before I started, you said 10 minutes, therefore I'm speaking. It's not 10 minutes yet.
9 minutes.
It's 9 minutes. It's 9 minutes. You said if I...
Sir,
when did the BJP last win an election? They won an election before 1998. 1998 to 15 years, Congress government was there, and after 2013, it's the AAP government. You won an election 25 years ago. What moral right have you to speak for the people of Delhi and say this is what the people of Delhi want? This is not what the people of Delhi want. This bill must be rejected.
Honorable Chairman, I rise to support this bill.
What thing? Sir says it's getting louder. Decibel level has to be, is getting louder, sir. Yes, Mahesh Jethmalani.
Sir, Dr. Singhvi, in his opening remarks, said that he made a lot of uncharitable comments, that this was a bill, hunkar ka natija, his exact words. He also said that we were Alice in Wonderland, constitutional arrogance. All these words were used, but I found very little in his speech regarding the legality or the constitutionality of this bill. I reminded about your Lordship, the Honourable Chairman. Very difficult to wear two hats on the same day. Honourable Chairman will recall, with all his eminence at the bar, it was an old saying. You
are the third senior advocate.
Yes.
I am listening for the day. And trust me, I will go home and read every word of each of you have said and privately get back to you.
It will be a deja vu moment for you. Anyways, we used to have an old saying in court that when a lawyer is strong on the law, he hammers the law. When he's strong on facts, he hammers.
Well, that's the ongoing debate in Rajya Sabha around the Delhi Services Bill. We're going to find out later in the day on what really transpires and what's the next way forward. Ms. Bansuri and Huda Zariwala, thank you for joining us this evening.